A voice for those who want to be heard, but seem to always get overlooked, who are hiding in the shadows, but want to step into the light. Sounds that resonate with all frequencies, that need to be heard, but are often gone, overlooked. Divine Time is a podcast that covers everything to elevate those who are hiding in the shadows, to help those who want to be seen, who need to be heard, but feel that there's always something holding them back from getting their voice out. We've got comedy, we have insightfulness, we have the truth, and we know how important the truth is these days. Stay tuned for an episode of Divine Time. What up? It's your boy Danli Divine, and this is an episode of The Wise Men of North Carolina Part 2. We used to pick cotton, now we are the cotton. In this episode, Danli Divine talks with two wise men in North Carolina about many topics relating to the Merow Dam, Jeffrey Epstein and his private island, the Trump administration and Trump running again, Congress and the real rulers of the world, and many more conspiracy theories. Join in on the conversation and tap in with me at Danli at Divinetime.blog and send me your feedback. Check out the blog also on Divinetime.blog.
Archaeologists began to uncover all these advanced artifacts, and several of the most wealthiest nations on the planet got wind of that, and they funded the Merow Dam. The Merow Dam was designed to flood that entire area.
What?
They said if they want to know their history, they can go down there and get it.
Damn.
So the archaeologists went on this massive and poorly funded rescue expedition to recover as much of the artifacts as they could, but they were unable to. But they built that dam in record time and flooded that whole area. So if you ever research the Merow Dam.
Merow?
Right, M-E-R-O-W, Merow Dam. It was, they flooded that area. They said they want to know their history. Go down there and get it. It's under the water.
I mean, you think about it, there's a lot of like black cities and stuff in America that have been flooded that they have literally tried to wash away.
Yeah.
Like Anaya has brought it to my attention that there's many cities underwater to this day. I mean, even with like Black Wall Street, I think that one they ended up burning that whole place down. I was like, bro.
And drove over it. 97. So they said 97. Yeah. Okay.
That's just wild.
Yeah, they mowed it over. You can't see no remnants of it now, but a little bit of it. They had a documentary on TV the other day. How Black Wall Street, they had this one store, but people had the only store that people had to go to. This is what started it. It was such a long track to get gas, go to the bathroom, and this guy built it, and it's still there to this day. But nobody wants to fund it to revitalize it. To build it back. But that store was the first store that you came to, and it started progressing after that. Yeah. It started progressing after that. And when it progressed, that's how it came with Black Wall Street. Because people could stay there. They didn't have no fear. It was in the middle of nowhere. But we always seem to go to the middle of nowhere and can build stuff.
That's because we got to be away from everybody. Oh, like shit.
That's it right there.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh, it was a big old store, the one I seen. We drove past coming in.
Carolina O'Paro.
Yeah, the one.
Man, that joker has some stuff with some people.
Oh yeah, it's wild. I'm like, yo, he had presidents there, governors, other celebrities,
princes.
Yep.
Other countries.
Epstein was he could have destroyed so much.
Yeah. They had to kill that joker.
They had to.
They were this way in every market, every open market in the free world.
I'm trying to tell you.
Stock market took a downturn today. What happened?
Epstein died.
Well,
Epstein told something.
Federal Reserve Chief was
found to be a pedophile.
But They said I heard R. Kelly was getting out.
What?
Yeah, you was telling me about that.
Yeah.
You getting out.
That might have been one of those,
Hoax?
fake things on the web.
I was about to say, I'm pretty sure R. Kelly was in there with what's his name, Tom from Subway. They over there catching footlongs together.
Oh yeah.
He said he getting out. Yeah, Weinstein, man, that dude,
Weinstein has so many. Trump, all of them. He has all of them, boy.
see now Trump, you know what? Anyway.
Trump was a hang with Weinstein. That was supposed to be one of his best buddies. I don't know nobody in Charlotte.
Trump said he could walk down New York City.
Kill somebody in the middle of the street. They don't know what time. That's why they put him in office.
I know the right
He's a
people.
redneck. He's a redneck. He one of us.
All the right people.
Yeah. It's amazing how he's still in the limelight right now. 2 years.
Isn't he running for next election?
Yeah,
I'm like, bruh, like that's wild. I'm shocked. I'm like, bro, you almost got impeached. I'm like,
More than
they
one
have
time.
so many.
So much.
So yeah, so they had so many allegations and everything. I'm like, they're allowing you to run again.
And he's gonna run, but I think the Republican Party is not gonna let him be their spokesman this year.
I agree.
He's not gonna win. He's not gonna win the Republican Party. He's got too much controversial stuff going on with him right now. Too much going on. One of his people done got charged with what? Scamming money or something like that. And they got him under investigation. That New York prosecutor, she want him bad. She want him bad.
I think it's all because he said, what is it, grab her by the pussy or something like that?
He said something stupid. She want him bad. She gonna get him watched, I tell you.
You know, he's the kind of guy that he will damage everyone else in the field. He told DeSantos, he says, yeah, you know, DeSantos, I know a lot of stuff about him, but he don't want me to tell y'all. But you know, that's the kind of guy he is.
He is, yeah.
He stirs up things. It's like, I didn't say anything about you.
Well, yeah.
But they did enough research to where they found things. Plausible deniability. He gonna make people curious and want to know.
Yeah.
And that's the issue. When people start getting curious, that's how things start getting messed up.
He don't want me to tell you.
Not my business.
I'm like, okay.
Trump boy.
So it becomes a question, does the Republican Party say, you know what? He's such a threat to the party
We don't want him in there.
that we can't let him get in power. So he can say no more press for him. Because he can talk all he wants as long as the news media don't carry it.
I didn't know he threatened what's his name's family. He's a vice president.
Man,
He threatened his whole family, man. Stop killing all of y'all.
That's the kind of dude he is.
And that man told it. I was like, get that heck out of here. But he can't run either. They asked him, was he going to run?
Pence.
Pence. Are you going to run? Pence. I think Pence is going to be worse than Trump. That's what I believe.
Pence
Trump?
is he's one of them Bible toting.
He said Bible toting.
You think so? He said
Bible toting.
What the world, man?
Cheese and bread.
Yeah.
He's a Bible toting.
Yeah.
Just what the hell?
Yeah, he's something else. But I don't think he'll get the election. I don't think he'll get the selection.
No. Now, I don't know. If McCarthy was to do it, he would get the selection.
McCarthy?
I don't like him, but they keep him in. How long has McCarthy been a senator now?
A senator?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm willing to say at least 35 years.
At least. He been there just as long as Pelosi.
Yeah, man.
She been in there forever too.
Yeah.
That's the thing that gets me. I'm like, why is it everybody always votes for presidents but nobody ever tries to vote the Congress out?
You know, the thing about it is, when you get into those Congress and those senator positions, you make more money than president.
Yeah. And then to top it all off,
that.
once you're in Congress, when you get done, you're paid for life.
Really? What you mean pay for life?
What you're making as a Congress, when you get done, that's still coming in.
Wow. So you pay.
I think that's the reason why they try and have you in for so long, or why they probably stay in for so long, because not everybody can keep just getting that stuff. You can't just switch it out every 4 years. I imagine. I'm gonna have to look more into that, but I mean, it's ridiculous. Like, even with the president, when the presidents get done with service, they have Secret Service for life.
Yeah. Somebody was saying, what, they gonna have Secret Service in the prison with Trump? That's why he ain't gonna do no time.
Nah, because if you get as the president, if you get impeached, you lose everything. It's almost like getting kicked out of the military with a bad conduct discharge.
Really?
Yeah.
But it's almost like what kind of precedence will that set?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why they're not gonna put him. He's not gonna do no time.
But look, they was getting ready to lock up Nixon. They told Nixon, "Hey, look, your choice.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
You can
Richard?
do this.
Yeah, they was gonna lock Nixon up for real.
Right, you can do this or you can do that.
He said, "Peace out."
Won't hear from me anymore."
Yeah, he came in. You know, I read about how much money he had when he became elected president. He had $30,000 in the bank. When he left, he had $300 million.
I believe it.
How you gonna get that kind of money? You only making $400,000 a year.
So many connects,
So much stealing.
so much information.
The same way that Biden's getting rich.
I
mean, you think about it.
His son is gonna get it. His son has got problems. They said they got some stuff on him, man. I think his son got problems, and I don't think he's gonna be able to win an election for the Democratic Party.
I don't think he's mentally aware enough to be president. Honestly.
He's too old. His body, his mind wants to do it, but his body will.
My mind's telling me yes.
That's what I actually think about that with him. He's willing, but he's just not there.
Me either.
He's not there.
Certain stuff he be saying is just like, they asked him a question. He's at one point they said, what do you think about this? Can you give us the 2 points? He said, yeah, first point is,
Yeah.
Be a
You know
robot.
why he does that? Because he speaks. Because he stutters. And see, he was a very bad stutterer.
really?
And he taught himself how not to stutter. And he repeats his words. So he stops. Think about what he's going to say, and he speaks.
Slower.
Right.
I didn't know that.
If you ever research, he had a really bad speech impediment.
Wow, that's good info.
Really
Yeah,
bad.
I've heard of some people who do that. And for me, honestly, a lot of things would go through my head real fast, and a lot of people used to be like, "You talk real fast," and sometimes I would end up jumping over my words, and it wouldn't make sense because I'm trying to like get it out so fast, and then it was like you have to sometimes just stop, take a breath, and then say it a little slower.
That's why you talk like that.
Yeah. I mean, I have like a little thing that I always just say. People are like, you talk so fast. I'm like, I'm not talking fast. You just listening slow. So,
Yeah, that's that. He was talking about that with some kids on when they was interviewing them, children that have a speech problem. And he says that I have a speech problem even from young, and that's why he mixes up words sometimes because of that situation.
so we had our first black president. Now we got our first dyslexic president.
I was reading, man. We had black presidents.
Yeah,
I know
true.
Eisenhower was partially black.
Abraham
I
Lincoln.
didn't know that either.
Eisenhower had a black. Yeah, he was partially black. That's what you do know that he started the Civil Rights Bill.
I didn't know that.
Eisenhower signed the Civil Rights. Yes, he signed the first Civil Rights Bill, and the Democrats didn't like it, and it didn't go all the way through. But some of the things passed.
Yeah, I think we had like 3 black presidents.
Former soldier.
Yep, did that. Yep, Eisenhower. Now, Harding. Harding was black.
Who was the one that signed the bill?
He's on the bill.
Yeah, I was about to say I was like the one that signed the
You see
bill.
his picture sitting down at the bottom.
And then after that, he disappeared. Yep.
Like, he was the president of the United States before Washington was.
Mm-hmm.
Black dude. Another black dude was the president in before him too. Henson, something like that. Yes.
I heard something. I'm not. So you know the Moorish flag, right?
The who?
The Moorish flag.
The Moorish flag?
Yeah, the Moorish flag.
I've never seen it.
Oh, supposedly, you know how they say George Washington chopped down the cherry tree?
Yeah.
Supposedly that's the symbol for it. The symbolism of George Washington chopping down a cherry tree is him taking down the Moorish flag. I'm like, what? I want to do research on that. That's what I'm about to dig into next.
Yeah, that's some good info.
I'm digging into that next because I was like, yo, the time frames match. When was America?
1776.
It's like, hold up. I'm like, I want to do research on that and try and figure that out because I was like, that would make sense.
And they said that Adams. Was it Adams? Who had the black girl that he had babies by?
Jefferson.
Jefferson. Jefferson was partially black.
Abraham Lincoln was partially black.
But you know
I did hear that part.
Which part?
Right here got me.
Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, Abraham Lincoln. His mother's I think slept with one of the slaves, but the father ended up raising the child because Abraham Lincoln was light skinned, and then raised the child as a white man, Abraham Lincoln. And if you look at it, all the coins, all the president's face is facing one way. Abraham Lincoln's the only one on a dark coin facing opposite direction.
It is. They changed the direction of George Washington on the coin too.
Really?
One of them changed. They moved from one way to the other one. And it's amazing, man. What was that? Why, back in the day, Lincoln was a Republican, right? When did everything change for us from Republican to Democrat?
I think it was during the Confederacy. After the Confederacy.
After the Civil War.
Yeah, you don't go that way to the 70. Really?
I think so.
Because it seems strange that the Republican Party was more about helping us than destroying us.
Not necessarily. Abraham Lincoln didn't free the slaves for our own benefit. He freed the slaves because they knew that the slaves would run to the north to help beat the South. Because if he's offering these things, then where are they going to go? They're not going to stay there with their slave masters and get picked off, and they're not going to be able to prosper anywhere in the South. So they're going to run to the north. It was all a chess move.
So you thinking that's what it was? But he was talking about that before the war started.
All right, check this out. Do you work right now and still not be able to really do anything with the money you have?
Yeah.
You're a slave. We're still slaves. The only thing that happened is you don't have a direct master above you. We still are constantly being controlled. We're not really free.
I don't think we ever. Wow, they don't put up lamps in the middle of the road. Yeah.
I mean, because if you look into the black law book, even in law, it states that color is not a person. That does not define a race. So when all these people run around like I'm black, you understand that you're saying you're not even human. You're nothing but an object. That's why I constantly say, I'm not black. If you want to put something as a color, the closest color I am would be mahogany. I was like, but in all honesty, I'm like, I am a god. I am capable of creating things. Anything that I speak, I make it happen. I'm manifesting my reality. I am creating things. I was like, at the same time, that's why I got upset when I was like, when the white people were like, oh, they're not human beings, and they tried to get us to consider ourselves to be human, to be equal to them. Like, no, we taught y'all everything that y'all know.
Yes,
we were above y'all. That's why y'all trying to delete our history to make it seem like y'all are y'all are greater than us. Y'all really are not. I'm like, why is it all these things that are happening that are great inventions are coming from colored people?
Just like when I found
people of
out
melanin. Why y'all killing so many of us trying to take our melanin?
That actually mapped out Washington, D.C. I didn't know that there was a black guy that did that blueprint for that. He was black. I mean, we got so many inventions, so many things that we've done. They've been stolen, and this is the way it is. But we weren't smart. I think our ancestors, like Africa, we knew what gunpowder was. We knew what it could do. But we want to sit there and put it in the fire and say, "Ooh, dance around that."
Yep.
Instead of
Fireworks.
making weapons.
That's why.
Why? Because what you gonna do? How you gonna fight a gun? Fight a gun with a spear?
Mm-hmm.
But they were adamant about it. They were good about it. If they only knew what would happen to their people, but we were selling our own. We was used to selling our own people. Then turn around, you got sold yourself.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, the way that society is now, I'm like, the only way to bring us down is via ourselves. I feel like we sold ourselves out to them, which constantly put us in this cycle we're in now.
And it happens all the time. It's still the same thing. It's like crabs in the barrel. We don't want to stick together. Look how these people, Mexicans, and you know, I ain't got nothing against them, but all those people stick together like glue. Tank
said something. The artist Tank, the singer, the R&B singer, he was on a radio station. And he said, he was like, white people are not afraid of us coming together trying to overthrow something because they know they'd be able to win. What they're afraid of is us coming together and loving together. That's the reason why nobody tries to control R&B. R&B is about love, and that right there brings people together. He was like once they figure out that secret, he was like, even if they figure out that secret, nobody's gonna be able to take it because it's through love. It's not, they don't see it as they don't see it as much as a threat. But the thing that they can take control of is the hip hop and the rap, because majority are going to flock towards that. And with that constant destruction and everything, the toxicity is what keeps people going. That is right there is what's going to fuel the flames. If you get everybody with peace and love, we can honestly overthrow everything, how Martin Luther King was saying, through peace, peaceful protest. Do not be like our oppressors. I was just like, oh, why did y'all put these knowledge out here? Because if they get to it, they might find a way to twist it around.
You're going to get over it because not this exit, but the next exit you're going to go off to the right. You know, we always, I don't know why, how can I say it? We like fighting. It's like a nature thing for us to fight, especially one another. We haven't stopped doing that. We always, you know, our people always are infighting, even though we are a mixed race. We are the most mixed race out of all cultures. We are universal people, but we always fighting. We thrive off of carnage.
I think,
like, you know, cause like listen to the rap. They do not, most of the time, they don't speak nothing positive.
True.
They're always speaking about, they're calling the women they bitches and this, that, and the other. I got my gap. We're doing
tearing
this,
each other down.
Tearing each other down. Fighting one another. For what? It's just like when that stuff started first coming out, who went at each other? Biggie and Tupac. Then it was, what is that one name that's locked up right now?
Suge Knight?
Suge Knight. Everybody's scared to death with Suge Knight.
Okay,
Suge Knight.
I want to disclose something with the Tupac and Biggie thing. In all honesty, they were not fighting. That was something that the music industry decided to create. Tupac and Biggie were coming together with a bunch of different rappers to actually create their own distribution of music, of rap. That is why Tupac got killed, and shortly after, there was two other rappers that were in correlations with them in Jersey who got killed, and then Biggie was killed after.
Really?
Always a backstory.
Always a backstory to it. So that's when Tupac came to Biggie's club, did he actually get in? Don't somebody actually try to rob him?
Probably. That probably.
That's what yeah.
Yeah, that, and then with that, I'm like, the story grew from there. But I was not there. I cannot say.
But
if you think about it,
Tupac
if you
was messing with Biggie's girl, or Biggie girl.
What was that? That was Faith.
Faith.
I mean, everybody was trying to mess with Faith. Can you blame them? Excuse me. I wasn't that old when I learned about Faith, but I mean, ever since my testicles dropped, I was like, she is pretty cute now.
Yeah. Faith was no joke.
See?
And she done married somebody else now.
Yeah, I think she finally moved on. But yeah, that story had a backstory to it. And I mean, if you think about it right now, anytime that people of color try to do something big to overthrow what's already out there that is holding us down,
They change it.
not even that, they get plucked off. Dr. Sebi, he was trying to get rid of Big Pharma, killed by pneumonia. Died by pneumonia. He's talking about how to heal all these things. He dies by pneumonia. Like, y'all can make it something a little more outlandish. I'm like, Nipsey Hussle tries to revive the Dr. Sebi thing while also building the community for all of the gang members in Los Angeles. Dies by a person who was close to him. Was able to get so close to him because he knew him personally to be able to shoot him multiple times. And then you think about it, I'm like, you are known in the community. Rolling 60 Crip, Crenshaw Crip in Los Angeles on Crenshaw with your own store. I know you got all your people around you. None of these motherfuckers had a strap on them. That's a setup. No, I call bull. I call bull.
You don't think so?
Martin Luther King, y'all still trying to find out if Jesse was even really there. Who told Martin Luther King go back up there to get shot? I mean, every time somebody...
Jesse, if you ever look at that thing, Jesse backed up.
Like I said, every single time a person of color is trying to do a great change, they get picked off.
Do you not know Abernathy talked about King like a dog? Abernathy was right beside King. That was his main go-to guy. But after King died, Abernathy came out with this book talking about how he was a womanizer and this, that, and the other. Why would you do that with a dead man?
Keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Why would you do that to a dead man?
So they don't kill you?
Exactly.
I need you to say this. Otherwise, it's going to be some more people dying.
You think so?
What?
I mean, you'd be surprised what they do.
What they do, yeah.
What are y'all are familiar with narcissists, right?
Yeah.
You know how they'll take things and try and switch their way to defame other people so that way nobody will believe anything that... You always try and make the good person look bad. So when the good person does speak truth, nobody will believe them.
You labeling. Anti-Semitic.
Look at Kanye West right now.
Man, Kanye West.
Look at Kyrie Irving.
Look at Herschel Walker.
Look at the Michelin tire guy.
He can't even speak.
He's just an idiot. He's a...
Okay, let's do this. Let's do this one. Let's do this. Orlando Brown, Cat Williams. Everybody thought both of them were crazy when they were saying these things, and now you got other celebrities coming out saying the same exact things.
Cat Williams always told the truth.
Yes, and everybody took him off as crazy. He's on drugs. Orlando Brown was saying the same things. Everybody thought he was on drugs, the way he was acting, and he actually came out and said he was like, nobody's gonna believe anything from a crazy person. The things that Orlando Brown says, he's saying things letting you know I'm not crazy, but I need to put on this act so that way they think that I'm losing my mind.
Yeah, because Cat Williams was fat dude wide open.
Cat tell you, says, "Hey man, I'm gonna say this, but
Yep.
You might not like it.
You know, they killed me.
They killed that
DMX.
Dave Chappelle.
DMX?
Yeah, DMX was
DMX told him to say, "Hey man, look."
Told Cat Williams?
No, DMX said I shouldn't be saying this because they probably gonna kill me.
Yep.
But I'm gonna tell y'all, and what the third word was intimidation. So what do? They embarrassed him.
Yep.
They intimidated him, and they said a whole lot of innuendo.
I got you. I know exactly what you're talking about with the Navy personnel, Master Senior Chief.
Yeah.
I told you, I was like, it's gonna come to you. You're gonna say it, and when you tell me, like, hey, I'm like, I got you.
But they do. They put him in jail and let him out. They put him in jail, they let him out.
Yep.
And every time they show a picture of him when he was in jail, he looks sadder.
Yep.
Sadder.
Yep.
When he was first standing up like that, last mugshot, man, it was like,
yep.
Got him.
Finally defeated him.
He's defeated.
He was defeated.
He was defeated. Said, brother, your light burning too bright. I'm at the...
Yep. We need to dim you down. Anybody who has a lot of influence, can influence the masses, and has a standing behind them, they gotta bring you down.
I think that's why, you think that's why they killed Michael?
Yeah, Michael.
And I think they really.
I
think they killed Prince too.
I wouldn't be surprised
Because Prince was getting ready to come up with some different stuff.
That's why they killed Princess Diana. That's why they killed Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe had a lot of stuff on what's his name? The Roosevelts.
Yeah.
Hey, I just want to clarify. I made a mistake. I wanted to say that Marilyn Monroe had a lot of information on the Kennedy family, not the Roosevelt family. Hey, that was a hiccup on my part.
I'm like, Princess Diana, she did too. And I mean, they have books on that. Princess Diana said how she was going to die. She knew. She was like, they're probably going to kill me in one of the tunnels that we have to transport, so that way we're not around everybody. And I'm just like, what the heck? And like I said, this is just one of my observations.
Well, you know that can be happening. You know, God give all of us gifts to see things. Sometimes when you see things, you can be able to warn people. You can get to them. Maybe change their way of thinking, their minds. But what's to say? Man, this world, these people, everything. It's just like, how did Oliver North get away with so much that he did, and then do a thing that we can't have, and then give all them weapons, all this stuff away, sold for money.
And they could have easily have just turned off his light.
Yep, they didn't do it.
They didn't do it. Ron Brown, remember Ron Brown?
Oh, when they got killed in the airplane.
Yes.
They said that everybody in that plane was killed. They shot them. They were shot.
When you find that Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton was already at his wife's house before the plane went down.
What? They knew they was going to kill him.
You need to go show your respects. He's gonna be dead at 4 o'clock. Did he say 4:30?
I remember, wasn't that like up as a tweet or something, and then like take him down?
I don't remember.
I remember hearing something where Hillary Clinton had put up like it supposedly had popped up, but somebody screenshot it, and then it like came down, and then it like everybody was like passing around like, "Yo, did y'all see this?"
Yeah, they knew, and they said something before the plane. I guess the plane didn't go down for like another 30, 40 minutes or whatever. But they were at her husband's house offering their condolences, and then they found out later the plane didn't go down to after they had been to her house. Saying your husband is dead, we're so sorry.
What was the problem? Why did they want to kill him?
He was part of the clique.
What?
He knew some information. And I guess somebody got to him and said, hey, we need you to testify.
He said, no, I ain't gonna do it.
They said, no, man.
And I guess they got scared and said, well, we're gonna have to just take him out anyway.
Not that light.
Kill everybody on the plane. Everybody, pilot and all.
Collateral damage.
So then you know what? Somebody had to jump out that plane with a parachute. They killed all of them.
Yeah. I mean,
one of them said, okay, I'll kill myself too.
I was about to say, I was like, you think about it, you got suicide bombers. So I mean, what if they were just like, okay, cool, took the funds for their family or something, and then went ahead and offed themselves in the process?
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
Ruby?
Like,
What was his name that killed Oswald? Jack Ruby? Ruby walked up to the man, shot him on TV.
No, you can't be telling. It looked like he was getting ready to tell something.
We all know that Oswald did not kill that man. There's no way that he could have killed that man with them shots with that single action rifle. There's no way.
3 shots to the head.
To the head, and that within what? 10 seconds? 5 seconds? Nah. Accurate as that? Nah. They said he wasn't even a marksman.
Nope. There was multiple shooters.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, you take that and they talk about the Zabuter film or whatever it was. I mean, heck, today we got.
Let's get off. Yeah, what else? Look further.
Capital, right?
Yeah, the capital.
We got cell phone footage from 50 people. Somebody getting killed, and they like,
That ain't what happened.
we need more investigation.
Come on.
We need to set up some
More investigation.
yeah, some more tools. Damn it, you got a video.
Yeah.
From 50
It's like,
people.
yo, that would hold in court. That'll 50 people, that was more than enough evidence to hold in court.
I mean,
But you need to do another investigation. Like, what else do you need?
50 video. 50
Oh, y'all want to find a way to hide it. Got you. Got you. I'm picking up what you're laying down.
And with so many people out there with cameras, you know they have more film and footage
Your Honor, it's hearsay. Hearsay. This is irrefutable evidence.
Bro, you got enough photos and videos to create the whole scene in every angle.
Next one.
Yeah.
Might as well do a 360 shot. Panorama.
I'm pretty sure they have more film footage of people that they didn't let you see. Because everybody wanted to see the president. Everybody was up there filming. They only let us see the certain film that they wanted you to see.
Always.
Now they got all the paperwork. Cause, the Warren Commission. What is it going to be right? The Warren Commission is what? You can't see it for 50, 60, 100 years. Why?
You know what? They've come to realize that people can see something with their own eyes and they still won't believe it. They'll believe the government. If we say it's a lie, they'll believe us.
It's a lie.
I will have that 10% that won't believe us and they know the truth. We ain't worried about them.
You said the 10%. Why specifically 10%?
Because they know they can get the 90%.
To believe that's all they need.
Okay. I was about to say, have you heard about the 80? What is it? I think it's the 70, the 10, and the 5, or
How's that go?
so you have the majority. That right there is going to be like the 80% or the 85%. Then with it, you have the 10% who are constantly trying to make a change. You have the 5% who want everything to stay the same. That 10% is the big trouble because the 80% is going to sit there and do whatever the 5% says. So therefore, if you fall into that 10% where you're trying to make a change or expose things, you're at risk. It's easier to get rid of the 10% than the 80%. And that's how I can tell you that's how America works.
That's interesting.
I was just like, oh,
that
snap.
right there is kind of, that's kind of deep right there. It makes you think about what in the world.
Get rid of the 10%.
I can get rid of the 10.
Or I can make it so hard on that 10%.
Yep.
Or I can make it that hard on 2% of the 10%, and the other 8%, they'll just go on about their business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Forget it. I don't care one way or the other. I ain't voting.
Yeah.
That 10%.
It's wild. It's wild. I was like, oh my gosh.
10%. We'll find the leaders of that 10% and
Just take them out.
Yep. And therefore, the other 10% will lose the morale. But there's always going to be a 10%. You're not going to be able to attack the mass of the 10% at one time. And I was just like, boy.
Let me tell you how these jokers at my job think about them storming the Capitol. Oh man, storming the Capitol ain't got nothing. It's just the same thing as the what is that? Black Lives Matter. How in the hell figure that? Well, Black Lives Matter, they destroyed this property and all that kind of stuff. I said that was y'all.
Yeah.
Wasn't no black people taking down no statue. Every time you see a statue coming down, a white person taking it down. Go look at all the show. Yeah, well, that was black men. Those was black people. Guys was going out buying bullets. I said, what you buying them bullets for? Man, I don't know. They might come to my house. I said, you mean tell me you thinking of the whole crowd of black people who come to your house and try to take you out? I said, come on, man.
That's the mentality that we deal with.
Come on, man.
Remember earlier we were talking about the chessboard and how I mentioned in that video the head one was just like, no matter if you have people trying to overthrow or whatever, he was like, you can try and do peaceful things. We're going to implant
And that's what
people that will destroy it. Because Black Lives Matter was supposed to be a peaceful protest. Now it's been categorized as a gang.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when all those riots and stuff was going on, who all was terrorizing these buildings and everything?
They were showing people, white people, and
It's always the same people getting interviewed.
style stuff, masks on.
Yep.
Running around, breaking windows.
Yep.
They break in the windows, and then they run,
It's all them black people was doing those.
They started
doing
fire,
They sure did. A whole lot of them.
Now it's
was
to
doing
come from a peaceful protest to looting.
Yep.
Right.
Looting and
destroying
rioting.
personal property.
Yep.
See now look what happened with this. Remember people donating all that money? They said the leaders, the black
She rich. She took that shit.
She
and
rich.
ran.
She done bought houses. She done bought $1 million house and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
What did you do? Why you? What was the money for Black Lives Matter supposed to go for? What was supposed to go for? It's just like when they had the Million Man March with Farrakhan. Farrakhan, they had 1 million people at there.
Mm-hmm.
But they said that y'all we're gonna say that y'all had less than 1 million because y'all was selling shirts and pies and clothes and stuff at the Million Man March when you weren't supposed to sell nothing on federal government property.
Mm.
So what happened to all that money? He said we're gonna get this money.
Mm-hmm.
He said they was getting the money and they was gonna start building things for black folk to have. Businesses.
Mm-hmm.
This and that.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't
What
seen
coat of
that.
arms is that?
I ain't seen that one yet.
DMB 1CP.
So now, he ain't do nothing. Farrakhan ain't give nobody nothing. He still got people standing on the corner selling daggone bean pie. Right now. You ain't making that place for them to sell it. You ain't got buildings. You ain't starting no businesses. You ain't done nothing. Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But you got diamonds on your hands. You got so many babies there that don't want it. Just like Black Lives Matter. What was that money supposed to go for? Why were you raising money? Were you raising money to help to promote the Black Lives Matter? In what aspect were you trying to do that in?
I see where you at. I see where you're going.
Yep.
But there's been a lot of people that travel that road.
Yep.
More of them than us.
More of them than us.
And it sucks because it's like, yo, this is something that's never going to go away.
Yeah.
And there's always going to be people that see an opportunity and capitalize off of it.
Yes. Now the question becomes, how did they get there?
How they get there?
Was it one of them saying,
Ah.
I got you. They'll never know. We can go ahead.
We go ahead and take this money.
Get this house in here. We got a way to funnel the money, wash it, it'll be clean.
Ozark.
Hey, you'll be okay, okay?
And that's what that lady who was in charge of Black Lives Matter. She done went to LA and bought a brand new $3 billion house. Then she bought one in Florida, and so did her boy that was with her did the same thing.
So now you get Brett Favre, he goes down there and steals the welfare money.
And build a daggone.
And ain't nobody saying a dang thing.
You'll hear about it no more.
Nothing.
Nothing. You'll hear nothing about that.
Okay? He done stole welfare money.
Welfare money.
Ain't done.
Now, the ones that did it in that other state, those black people that did it in the other state, them jokers getting ready to do time.
They doing time.
Huh?
So when I started looking at these things and I'm like I ever say, it's gonna happen. Now is the justice equal?
Mm-hmm.
It'll never be equal.
You know what gets me though? Since we talking about the justice, why is it that so many black people are getting locked up for these petty crimes, but yet if you have people who have a corporation who get locked up for those same petty crimes, they go to a federal jail? Why is it that the more money you have, now it's federal time?
Yep.
And have y'all seen federal jails?
Yeah, I haven't seen them, but I heard.
They nice. They nice.
They got tennis courts.
Yep.
I'm like, for real? I'm like, that's wild. So the more money you have and you get locked up, it's okay. You still get cordial visits and everything.
And the more money you steal, it's white collar. It's a white collar crime.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now
You can do 2 years. You stole $200 million. We can give you 2 years of prison. We can give you a year for every $100 million.
I think they need to
And then they fine them for $10 million.
void every contract any state has with a prison for profit. A profit for prison.
Oh yeah.
That makes no sense to me, man. Why would you as a state sign a contract with the prison that says I will make sure you beds are filled to 85%?
Yep. And that's the reason why cops are constantly over here just locking people up for dumb stuff. But the thing that gets me is I'm like, wait, people don't realize cops work for you. You tell them what you need done. Like, hey, somebody's trying to rob us. Or, hey, there is this and this and this.
Mm-hmm.
They don't just pop up and be like, hey, do you need help?
But if go back to the original purpose for police.
You know what it was
To protect and serve.
I think this would be better the way to go home.
If you look at the original reason for police, it was to capture slaves.
And that's exactly what they're doing still.
West.
West.
Yep, go west. Now you can get in the second lane over there, because that lane is going to turn for that. That mall. Yeah, you get in this lane right here.
Yeah, the original purpose for police was to return slaves to the owner.
Yes.
That was the original.
That was original.
And that explains a lot too.
So they only been doing what they've been doing for.
Because when you go to jail, you're literally livestock being traded on the stock market.
Them
Still
jokers
making your
$30
slave master
$30
money.
million, they get $30,000 a year.
They get money, man. You know, when the state says, "I'll make sure we won't build a prison, you build a prison. I'll make sure your bed's at 85% filled. And if they ain't filled 85% filled, I'll pay you X or whatever to reach that 85%."
That's wild.
So the judge is like, "What we got today, boss? We need to get 15 people in there before the 30th of this month. Otherwise, government's gonna have to pay at least $16 million." Okay, all right. What we got on the docket today? Okay, I see 5, 6, 7. We got anybody else we can bring in, get this 15 so I can go? You know? They say we used to pick cotton. Now we are the cotton.
You say just a break.
Nah, we still just the slaves making other people money.
It ain't gonna change no time soon.
And the crazy part is what can we really do to change it? Like, they know we're not going to be able to come together as a people to actually do what needs to happen to overthrow it. I'm like, because they have literally created a cult. They have destroyed our culture to where it's no longer there, and then created a new culture, making us believe that that's what our culture is. However, they switched on them also because, you know, the Europeans, those from the Caucasus Mountains, have no culture. They're literally culture vultures. So with that, everything that they are trying to create for us, their people are starting to try and take that as well. So now their own people are getting incarcerated and doing all these stupid, outlandish things, while us, we're starting to realize, like, nah, we're better than this. But the thing is we still have that ego to where we're not coming together and helping one another.
Down here, a little further, after this life. 2 places after this life. Maybe. Can't remember. But yeah, but you know, we don't have any leadership anymore, man. Martin Luther King, you got a dumb leader like Jesse Jackson. And here we got people like Thomas, what's his name? Thurgood, well, not Thurgood. Took Thurgood Marshall's place. What's that dude's name? Clarence Thomas.
What up, it's your boy Westside Jones. Be sure to check out my podcast, Vibes of Westside, Tuesdays at 2 o'clock. Also, be sure to check out some of my music on all streaming platforms. Westside Jones is WESSYDEJONES. Get familiar. Yeah.
We don't got nobody. I wasn't even fond of Thurgood Marshall after I started seeing him. He wasn't really doing nothing, but he was old. When you get old, you just go along with what people do.
You know, but there's a game he has to play too. Because I mean, there's a government within the government.
Yeah. That is facts.
And, you know, they give you a few opportunities to make you think you in control. They'll say, okay, you can have that one. But that's it for a while.
People need to understand, like, look, the president is just the face of the country. He's not the one that, he or she is not the one that runs things.
No.
They just, they lead. Go ahead.
To me, I think Congress and Senate run stuff. He can veto it, but if they want to go past, they can go past him and do it anyway.
Because they're not going to take, 13 people and put up in front of a podium.
Right.
You know, and then you got these bills. I mean, they're like 300-400 pages long.
Yep.
And you
Why
got
can't you just say what it is?
And these lobbyists come in and say, hey, we're going to give you $200 million for you.
Speaking
Re-election campaign.
of that,
And all you need to do is put this into that bill. What is it? Well, we already typed it up. We already put your name in here. We got your 3 people that's going to co-sponsor with you. Ray and Ralph and Cindy. They're all going to co-sponsor with you.
did you hear about that thing they found in Georgia? Where in Georgia, it was at one of the hotels. It was an uplandish hotel, and I think it was like once a year, a bunch of high-end people in senates and stuff would end up meeting up there. It turned into, they have it labeled as a non-profit, but they would go in there and exchange bills and literally pay off the sentence of what's going to get passed and what's not going to get passed. I was like, what?
They're going to do what they want to do. That's why everybody said, well, you going to vote? I said, yeah, I'm going to vote because I have a right to vote.
Yeah.
You know, people die for me, they have a right to vote. And we've only been able to really vote in my lifetime. People didn't start voting really until 1965, which we always had the right to vote, but we were just too scared of it. And I said,
It made it feel like your vote don't even count.
So I'm going to go vote. I said, but what part really changes at my level?
Local voting.
It doesn't change nothing. Local voting does.
Local voting does. You know.
But presidency and all that kind of stuff, it don't change nothing.
Which way?
We'll go that way.
Which way?
Keep to the right. We're gonna go through the stop sign. Straight across.
Okay. Yeah, local voting. I mean, who's the DA? Who's the sheriff?
Other than that, that other stuff don't matter.
Yeah.
It don't matter at all. Because they're gonna do what they want to do.
Yep.
Us, what you say, it's gonna happen.
It was funny because when I was in the military, all the NCO staff and officers like, oh yeah, y'all need to find the time to go vote. I'm like, it doesn't really matter. I told them, I was like, in all honesty, I'm not gonna vote because whoever wins, I still gotta listen to them. I was like, so I can't go against our commander-in-chief.
That's right.
I was like, and the commander-in-chief's not really running anything. It's gonna be Congress. So in all honesty, all I'm doing is saying, who do I want to be the face of America? When I really can't do anything about anything else that's going on, because y'all still going to be like, hey, we're going to start an unnecessary war and send you over there. Of course, I wasn't saying all this because that could have been really bad for me. But in my head, I was just like, there's no point on voting when I'm just a government's property. I learned that the day I accidentally put a hole through the wall, and they were like, that's destruction of government property. If you would have broke your hand, you also damaged additional property. I was like, wait, so I'm just property? I was like, okay.
Yeah, because I, you know, everybody used to tell me, Marcus, what do you think about Trump? He being your president. I said the same thing you thought about Obama being yours. I said, regardless of what happened, the man's the president of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
He's the president of the United States. You got that mentality. He's doing that. I said, no, I'm not going to talk against that man because he's the president of the United States. And I said, if we got to go somewhere, go to war, we gonna go.
Yep.
That's what you say, how you say it, whatever's going on. I said, I didn't really like Reagan. I didn't like the Reaganomics and all that old crazy stuff. Because his wife was in charge of that. I think that Reagan's wife was really leading the country at that time. Because he had Alzheimer's. Really bad. He couldn't really speak no more.
That was the beginning of the prison complex.
I thought that Clinton and Hillary them did that.
Clinton did the 3 strikes. That was their way of filling up the prisons.
So you mess up on the third time you going in.
Yeah.
You go.
Okay.
It's only 3 strikes, you out.
3 strikes.
It was Reagan who said that war on drugs, which was actually code for lock up the black people.
Yep. When y'all pressed all the drugs into our neighborhoods and then tried to force us to get onto them.
Just say no, Nancy says. Just say no. That was their way of locking up the black people. Drugs. And then Clinton came around and said, we need some more people in the house, man. He said, All right, how about 3 strikes?
3 strikes.
What is
All
that?
while he getting his little pecker sucked under the podium.
I did not have sexual encounters with that woman.
I did not have a sexual relationship with that woman.
I didn't do it. Now, but the thing about it is, what woman is going to keep a dress with the man's semen on
One that has an odor.
Mm-hmm.
Ambition.